So they're not adaptable.
Yeah, they're not
won't
adaptable
change,
enough. Yeah,
correct.
absolutely.
So they want people to go back to the days that they were used to. It's
Go back to making horseshoe.
They are going there because of the necessity. They are not going there because they crave human interaction.
People who attend physical events, they
Mellow.
meet up!
Dude!
Like, come on, that's...
In this episode,
Okay, so we are going to talk about human interaction.
Yeah, so...
Oh yeah, by the way, I'm Melvin.
I'm Nas. So it's just that we were just talking about it that day, and we were thinking that, this topic has been raised many times. Yeah, are we going back to normal? Is it back to normal? What is normal? Is this a new normal?
Yeah.
And I was sharing with him that because part of my job, one of the things I do is we organize events and we attend events. As I think yourself, you also handle a couple of events. And it does seem like, I'm not sure, I don't think the events are receiving the same reception that they did pre-COVID.
Absolutely not.
I believe that there is a resurgence of physical events because just that day when I was at MBS, when I was at the convention center, and it didn't seem like there was an unoccupied hall, and that convention is huge.
What convention was it?
So I went to a conference for this World Engineer Summit. So because of the nature of the job I'm doing, and above us was where they had the grand ballroom. Was a day with Jacinda Ardern, the New Zealand female Prime Minister. I think ex-Prime Minister, right? Who is very famous for
she was there.
Like, how do you say, having a heart but making things happen, right? But she makes things happen. So she was actually there. And it was a Bank of Singapore, and they were the sole sponsor, it seems, because their banners and her face was all over the entire top floor. Yeah, it was. I have no doubt it was $1 million.
So you went from the 3rd floor to the 4th floor?
No, I was on the 4th floor. I was on the 4th floor.
Just
to walk around because I was taking a break. So I just walked around because I was curious. I wanted to see how many events were there. Just to be see. I got like, did we really need this event? Couldn't it have been done virtually? But I saw that it's huge.
Well, and I suppose events like those, like the evening, right, or afternoon,
whole day.
It's a day with Jacinda Ardern, right? It was if she's a guest there, you probably have to be there. To enjoy the session, but I think your point is the organizers could have made it like just
virtual,
a virtual webinar,
or maybe to add on to what you said is that maybe there are some events that you really want to be there, virtual, right? But I feel like all the small events, I don't know if it's needed to be there virtual, but that's if you are using. That's almost like placing events into different social classes. Like only the elites or the richest, the top 1% should have their events, which I don't think is a fair way to put it. So, which brings us to our topic. I think it looks like, as you shared, I think humans just crave the interaction. But I feel it is a regression, no?
Okay, I would say that in any time COVID, during COVID, pre-COVID, even now post-COVID, right? I mean, I wouldn't call it post-COVID, but we are
post-pandemic.
Post-pandemic. We are still living with it. In this COVID endemic times, yes, we do want interactions, but the kinds of interactions that we place priorities on are different. I'll explain.
Please.
For example,
I was hoping you get that.
For example, okay, so in my experience, we run training. So pre-COVID, training was like you could have a free workshop, and it was easy to get like 30 to 50 people in a room. Attending training. Because that's the only avenue available. And then once COVID hit, we decided that we got to jump on this quickly. We started webinars. And we were our maximum capacity was like 100 plus in a training session, right? Which was done in the comfort of my boss's home. He's at home. I'm dialing into the computer, the old office computer that I put at his place, and remote in, controlled everything, right? And even when we finally opened up, we did it in the comfort of our office.
Okay.
And we could only have like 4 people in there. We didn't have to pay any rental. Yeah, we had to subscribe to some services, but that's the cost of business, right? And it's only a few tens of dollars.
Yeah.
And we managed to get way more leads than pre-COVID.
Okay.
Now, fast forward to post-COVID. And yeah, because of this hypothesis of people craving that human interaction, we started a physical class. Lo and behold, we couldn't pack the room with not even 20 people.
Okay.
Yeah, we only had like 15 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the cost per lead was extremely high.
Yeah, of course.
I understand maybe that's the beginning of the country opening up.
Yeah.
And perhaps people were resistant. They still felt unsafe.
Is it still the case now?
We haven't run physical preview sessions.
Why not?
Because of that experience, we decided to keep it online.
Okay.
We started to market,
which is a lot more profitable.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely makes more sense.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. Because I feel, in my opinion, I think that due to I wanted to say thanks to the pandemic, but I think you guys would kill me. So due to the pandemic,
you have things to be thankful for, though.
Due to the pandemic, there was this rapid digitalization, of the technology and companies and businesses and so on. And I think that was a step forward in this kind of events. I feel, I totally understand why people crave human interaction, because it actually helps us socially and mentally. When we socialize.
Indicator of
But
life.
It doesn't have to be in an event form. You know what I'm saying? An event form is, I feel, there's just so much. Okay, you know you would know the coordination and planning that goes into setting up one event, whether it's an hour long or a day long, right? The planning is not much difference.
And the collateral needed.
Yeah, exactly. Then the rental, the
flying people
the booth,
in,
all that kind of stuff. And then they like to give you last minute changes. Can I go before this guy, after this guy? 5 minutes before the thing, they ask you this kind of questions. At that point, you reach the point where you just go like, no. And I go like, if you're not happy, you can take it as my boss, but it'll be after the event anyway. So and all that logistics and all the efforts goes into that 1-2 hours, right? Which I feel, and like you said, today people just don't see it the same way they do. If you still get easily pre-COVID times, maybe better than pre-COVID times, then I understand. Maybe the profitability is there. But even then, I feel that even for the delegates and the attendees, you need to put in more costs to have it there.
So I believe that people who attend physical events, they see a pressing need to be there. It's no longer something that you can attend out of convenience. Like, to me, training a self-employed person, a self-employed person going for training is something they do out of convenience, like maybe 60-70% of the time.
I don't know, it depends on what kind of training, I guess.
But some people are really truly driven. I mean, they want to attend this training no matter what, because we are the only course provider that trains on, for example, lead generation. Okay.
I mean, if that's the case, then I understand.
But the majority of them, I would say, from just observation. I mean, forgive me if you're one of these people. If you're not one of these people, right? But I think the majority of them are just there because, hey, I'm free on this day. This sounds interesting. Why don't I just put some time towards it?
Right. Yeah, I mean, but I feel that, because I feel from the company perspective, to think of running events is regressing. But it might be because the pandemic was only 2 years. I mean, in some places it's longer, some places shorter. But I think that the pandemic may have been 2 years. Maybe if it was 3 years, I think the extra year may have permanently set some things in motion.
But then again, I mean, the format of online meetings, right? In the past, whenever you had to have a meeting, it's very rarely you can get to conference call the guy in, right?
Exactly,
many visitors just coming here for a week of meetings, right? But these days, if it's, I mean, we probably just say, why not just Zoom?
Just do a video call, exactly, And especially for companies with multiple locations, right?
Yeah,
exactly,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Which is an event on a smaller scale, right? But here's something that my hypothesis for this phenomenon of events, kind of like resurging. They want physical events, but yet at the same time they hold very low priority. They keep low priority events to online only. It's because during Chinese New Year, right? So every year, my family, we usually visit. We don't visit very many families. Maybe a maximum of 5-6 visits.
Okay.
Right. This year, the first year it opened up, right? We visited 0.
Okay. Why?
I visited my parents. Yes.
Yeah. Which is
that was the only thing.
The so-called standard.
Yeah. For them, they didn't even leave the house.
Why?
Because here's
the fear is still there.
No.
Huh?
Not because of that.
Huh?
They're just lazy.
Okay.
As
comfortable.
They're comfortable.
Yeah.
And I am comfortable as well. I'm lazy. Right? So after 2 years of not being able to leave the house, we have seen, hey, we have been able to, it's not so bad. We can live like that. And we don't really need to go visit anymore. So
it's not like we love our relatives that much anyway.
So I mean, let us know what you think. Did you visit more or less this year?
Yeah, was that the case with you guys? Yeah. I mean, the craving for human interaction, like I say, I understand now. But do you see a resurgence of physical events on your side? Wherever it is that you are, in this world.
That's it. I think certain events, like especially paid events, where they pay huge sums of money in order for exclusive access. They should be
exclusivity, I understand. Because if there's a rarity, if there's a scarcity for that particular resource, then I understand. I still think the technology that's running the event, the business that's running the event is being regressive. I think they should be looking at how they can deal with it virtually. Because during the pandemic, for example, one of the biggest coaches, let's say life coaches, because he hates the word motivational coaches, is Tony Robbins, right?
Okay.
And he actually set up a stage in a way where he could try to bring the experience and entertainment to be as close as possible to the people there. So instead of like waiting for when can we go back to physical events, he tried to revamp the virtual events. So I feel that business, especially if you have this scarcity and monopoly in a particular area, right, then it is up to you to decide as to how profitable you are in the events. And I feel like making it virtual would have been more powerful or more profitable.
I absolutely think so.
Because I feel that when people go down because of the exclusivity, because of the scarcity, they are going there because of the necessity. They are not going there because they crave human interaction. Half of them might be thinking like, why couldn't you guys do this virtually?
But you think about it, certain experiences do have to, like for example, concerts, right? For a moment we were having virtual concerts.
For a moment, because that's the only way.
We could do it. And
the quiet discourse, right?
Quiet discourse and
silence.
I mean, it's a bit weird, right? It's not the same experience. Yes, you can say it's a totally different experience.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. I mean, yes, for concerts wise, I completely understand. But I would stand by the fact that if the pandemic had lasted longer, we may be attending silent concerts.
Someone might be able to think of a way to run concerts, for example, amazingly.
VR would probably have to take off if they wanted concerts, right? Because you can imagine, the interaction you have now on Zoom today is very different from Skype then. Skype 5 years ago, it's like literally just call and hang up, basically. But now Zoom has so many things. There are breakout rooms, and you even have little interactions like wave.
The funny thing is all these changes only came during the pandemic.
Correct. Because they were forced to evolve. They will go like, we are not going to lose this battle with Skype, right? So they just find their ways to evolve. I can tell that their introducing of new features is no longer as rapid as So which I find again is a point of regression. I don't know why they do that, but like how there are pros and cons to physical interaction. Which brings us to that I was just reading in the news that Omegle, the face-to-face meet up with strangers.
Oh, yeah?
You're familiar with this,
Yeah,
right? You've seen it
chat
in social
roulette,
media.
Omegle,
Correct, chat roulette. And Omegle was actually shut down because they announced that they're closing down. I forgot when exactly they're shutting down. Maybe it's already happened. But the reason why they did this was apparently you couldn't completely guarantee the safety of the physical the
online
interaction, online meetup, because someone was complaining about
Predators.
Omegle constantly matching them with predators and pedophiles. So and I go like, okay, that's weird.
But that was the source of a lot of memes though.
Correct.
Funny
memes,
interactions.
I think it was really good. I saw some of this Omegle but in my opinion, I think someone will take over. I think this gap is huge, and because the idea is that they like that it's anonymous. You don't have to put in anything to register for it. It's really just anonymous, right? And I like some of the viral videos where some of them they prank people and
like show them a set of tits, right? And then surprise, motherfucker. You know,
I like dude. There's some where they will in that context, there's one where there are two cross-dressers that bump into each other.
Oh yeah.
And then they're like, dude, you're really
I'm
ugly,
a dude.
and then you're laughing like crazy. And I saw one where what they did. Oh, there's this guy who does a Death Note thing.
Oh,
have you seen it? Yeah.
No.
So he draws him very quickly. Like the person draws the person very quickly. It's generic enough where it looks like the person who is drawing. Then he flips the guy and they go like, how do you do that? And then he closes the book and you see Death Note. And some of them will play along. They go, So, but I guess the thing is that this Omegle, because they couldn't guarantee who you meet up with, because strangely enough, because of the anonymity, you don't get to meet the people that they don't get a safeguard. The people you meet, and then the predators and pedophiles. That kind of stuff.
Sure, it's a tough balance, man. But you know, would these count as meaningful interactions?
I don't know. I'm not on the area. I'm not bringing this up because of meaningful interaction. I'm bringing this up because of I'm really coming from the point of businesses. I'm really coming from that point. I totally agree that I still enjoy human interaction. Which explains why we're doing this. Which is why we're doing this. And hanging out and all that kind of stuff. It's just that when it comes to business, I feel that physical events really are not necessary. Except for stuff like concerts, and then maybe there are things like where you have to touch the material, that kind of stuff. Maybe,
the funny thing is, let me think, who's that guy? There was a thought leader. There was a podcast that I listened to recently. There was a thought leader.
The CEO?
He's not a CEO.
Okay.
Yeah. Was it?
What's the topic
on?
That's a mindset guy. Right?
No, it's a mindset guy.
Okay.
But basically, right, he was this thought leader was saying on Diary of a CEO, he was saying that he can't stand it when people turn to remote working. He wants work to be in person.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So some context. This guy, I don't mean to be ageist, but he's of advanced age.
Okay. So that's one. Okay. But what's his reasoning? Maybe he has a point. Yeah.
And from what I listened, it seemed that there wasn't any real takeaways. So it wasn't backed with data. Yeah. So I believe a lot of these people who really want face-to-face working or real workplace working, they are just not
used to.
I would even use the word, they are not educated enough on being able to manage a remote workforce.
So they're not adaptable?
Yeah, they're not adaptable enough. Yeah, absolutely.
So they want people to go back to the days that they were used to. Yeah.
And
and you know what's the funny thing? I promise you, this guy, whoever it is, growing up, he was judged by his parents for being too hippie, too not following their way of things. You know what I'm saying? Like being I don't want to use the word rebellious, but just being new age
or
during
too
their
modern,
time. Yeah,
right?
too modern during their time. Yeah. And if their parents were to ask him to go back to their days, let's see what he thinks.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's just
go back to making horseshoes.
Yeah, go back to churning butter. And that's exactly what he's doing. You see, because right now we are reaching a point where work is becoming, while it is important in keeping the society and economy moving, it thanks to technology and remote working, we are now allowed to balance our lives better. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I feel that this is very important. Okay, if we're going to go into the macroeconomic, so like for example, things like population crisis, these are real. Okay, in the next 20 years, 2 decades, 3 decades, we will have a shortage of manpower because of a population crisis, because of the rising labor cost, because of whatever reasons. The government is blaming people, which is ridiculous. It's like the parents blaming the children. But the point is, you are, for example, let's say Elon Musk is one example. He also took away remote working. He asked people to come back to offices. But at the same time, they talk about a population crisis. So it's like, it's crazy. I mean, work is becoming more and more tedious now. It's becoming more demanding. At the same time, you have the opportunity to have easily measurable KPIs. You can just give the people KPIs. I don't care what you do with your time. I don't care how
as long as you achieve these within this week, within the month, within
and
the
somehow
quarter.
that's not good enough. Why?
Okay, so the data has it as in it's really reflected in research that people who work remotely, they do suffer in terms of the workplace social interactions. So bonding with the team has been affected in teams where collaboration is essential. They are not able to perform that kind of collaboration as effectively because there's no time for small talk anymore. Right? You're on Zoom, you're just discussing your work, then okay, see you guys.
But so in your opinion, do you think the solution to that is to go back?
No, absolutely not. I mean, we are an innovative race. Adaptive race. We are able to think of new solutions to that. At the same time, Stephen Bartlett, who owns the podcast, right? He was commenting that his own team, pre-pandemic, they used to be able to sell the idea of a dynamic young team. And this only applies to his company and probably a few other companies, or maybe many other companies who operate in the same way, where one of the selling points is a young team who enjoy time together. He had social clubs at his firm, women's football team. They did all sorts of things together after work. They were friends at work and after work. But now that interaction is gone.
So what's the fix, right? Because the thing is, we try to be solution oriented. So how do we fix this? I feel that if you try to fix it by going back to what was then, it's regressive, in my opinion, because we are nothing if not adaptable. In fact, the humans have dominance over our fellow animals because of our adaptability, because of our ability to use tools, technology, and so on. So using this is okay. Off the top of my head, I can think of is what they're lacking is interaction, right? Why must it be in the workplace? So let the workplace become the place where it's purely for work. Then maybe because of people suffering from struggling to balance work-life issues, because I know a lot of people actually overwork when they work from home, right? So maybe it becomes something like, officers can do something like, it's now a 6-hour work day, for example. Obviously, immediately capitalists don't like this idea.
No, they don't have to mandate it.
Exactly. But let's say it's a 6-hour work day. Okay, instead of the 8-hour work day, right? 6-hour work day, and then at the end of the 2 hours, it has to be like mandatory video hangouts or chats. I mean, for example, I don't know what is it.
We are just spitballing.
Yeah, we're just spitballing, exactly. Or 6 hours per day, and then for 1 day of the week, they have to come in for office gathering, meetings, whatsoever. Like, for example,
absolutely makes sense.
Something like that, for example. I don't really know, because I mean, as I'm saying this, I don't know if, because when you have remote working, right, you can hire people. Your office can be made of people from across the globe, and you don't have to have employment papers to have them as part of it. Do you?
No.
I don't think so, right? Because they don't have to move in, that kind of stuff, right? Yeah, it's just maybe the HR nightmare is that you have different terms, but
and taxation.
We will have opportunities for businesses that can help people with these kind of HR issues. Yeah, so I feel like, and then after it's maybe bring it to a 6-hour work week, because I think people will be more efficient, and then tell them and say take the extra 2 hours to spend it with your family. Have more interaction time with your friends, family, social, whatever, that kind of stuff.
There's actually a study, on this covered on Freakonomics Radio, I think.
Okay.
Apparently, whether they choose to work from, the increase in morale and motivation to work is not in where they work. It's more of whether they are given the choice where to work. So
choices, right?
Choices. Which links back to but in any case, right? They did a study on full remote working versus full office working, and found that in any case there were people who are unhappy with it.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. So it's mindset. It's how you handle the situation.
Absolutely. Exactly. So I think giving people the flexibility to do things, mandating certain in-person days where all your interactions and meetings can be carried out. It will solve many problems.
Because I think remote working creates an environment or a situation where you have more flexibility to find solutions as compared to you having to come back to 8 hours. Because there are people who hate their colleagues. Coming 8 hours a day at this place. And in my opinion, if you can meet the same KPIs in shorter hours per day,
it makes you a better worker.
It makes you a better worker, more profitable company. Take the extra 2 hours to have your social interaction, because when you have a social interaction, you become healthy mentally. When you're healthy mentally, you work better. For me, that's it.
And you don't have to interact socially with colleagues.
Exactly. You don't have to. Exactly. That's how I feel that the work environment can evolve. We become this highly efficient team of people who we still stay respectful. We're still respectful. We still treat each other as human beings. But it's just work. You know what I'm saying? Just piece things together, understand this person this or whatsoever, and then just get things done.
That's fair. But it will be difficult to cater to those people who, as in those days where everyone is in the office.
But why is that even a benchmark?
It's just one of the challenges that the company has to face. That's one that I can think of.
The company I was in, the Swiss IT company I was in, from what I understand now, right, even fewer people come to office now. Because work gets done. They are seeing higher and higher profits. Because they see these numbers, right, they never make increasing demands. They don't go like, the boss go like, no, I don't care, I want to see you guys, all of you have to come in here. No, he goes like, it looks good on paper, officers are happy, all of you are clearly happy, which is why you're bringing me results.
Absolutely.
Fewer people are coming to office. They are now looking to get, they didn't downsize in terms of numbers of people, but they are looking to get a small office.
Right size office, right?
Exactly.
I think the space for everyone is one, and I think there are people who want to go to the office, right? People who treat the office as an escape.
Fair enough.
There are definitely people like that. And they feel that they can only get work done.
And there are people who feel that office is a prison.
Absolutely.
So it's like how you said,
give them the choice.
Whichever situation, give them the choice. But remote working enables that choice. Strictly working there,
or flexible working.
Flexible working. So which is adapting. It's just adapting to the point.
Well, from events, but it's still about social interaction.
It's social interaction. So, well, okay, what do you guys think? I think we've talked about this.
Where do you want to work?
We seem to be bouncing office? Back and forth. What do you all think? Do you prefer remote working? Are we supposed to? Is human interaction supposed to be coming?
Virtual events,
physical
in-person events.
Let us know what you guys think.
Let us know.
Until then,
see ya.